Hello and welcome to the Super Smashcast. I'm Connor and I'm joined by my co-host Tanner and making his Super Smashcast debut, Hayson.
Hello.
We are. This podcast is dedicated to Super Smash Bros. This is the first episode post-launch of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We've spent the first weekend with it now.
For how many days? For 4 days?
About 4 days, yeah.
It came out Friday.
Friday. We got it Thursday night. So yeah, we've had it for 4 days now. This is episode 5 of the Super Smash Cast. We're going to do probably 2 or 3 of these follow-up episodes, kind of just discussing the game, our thoughts on it over the weeks to come. But this is our first one, and then we'll do episodes for the DLC when that's announced and launched, which we actually will talk a little bit about on this episode today. But Hayson is joining us for the first time. Hayson is new to the series for Smash Bros. He's dabbled in the other ones, but this is the first one you've really gotten into. So I just want to start from the top. What do you think, Hayson?
So with this one, I think I said it on one of the last Super Smash casts, just generally, that I was going to force myself to get into it. Mm-hmm. And so most of my time's gone into adventure mode, and then I've played with you guys here and there. But I'm really enjoying it, actually. I didn't think I was going to end up liking it. I thought it was going to be one of those games that I buy, and I'm like, oh, crap, I've wasted more money.
Uh-huh.
But so far, I'm really liking it. It feels better than the one on the Wii U, is what I can say right now. So I've played 25 hours of adventure mode as of right now.
Yeah, so I've noticed you've really stuck to World of Light, the new adventure mode, which we'll touch on later. But so Smash Bros. Ultimate is finally out. It was probably one of the shortest turnaround times from when it was announced versus the other games, which usually took about 2 years from when they were announced to release. This one the very first trailer for it was in March, so it was around 8 months that we had to wait for it, which really wasn't that bad, 8-9 months. And the hype cycle is all past now, and here we are with the game in our hands. Tanner and I have been huge Super Smash Bros. Fans from the beginning. Tanner, what are your thoughts on the game? Let's. What do you guys finally think now that we have the game in our hands? Where do we think it stands? What's our favorite pieces about it? All that.
I mean, I love it. I think it's finally the melee killer that we've been waiting for
a competitive play.
Oh yeah, 100%. Immediately, me and Connor, luckily the day before, had played Brawl before Ultimate, so we went from Brawl to Ultimate, and it's so fast. The speed is super nice. It's super generous. The Wii U compared to Wii U was fast. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't as slow as Brawl, but this is just like, it's on par with Melee. It just feels so fluid, and the motions. You can tell Sakurai worked really hard on making each character feel good.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is Link now. For me, like, I used to hate Link. I've never been a fan of, like, his moveset. I love his character, but, like, everything just feels so fluid about him. The way the characters move, the way you can jump and dodge, and the aerial dodges, and as far as gameplay goes, the game is amazing. And as far as everything about the game, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I personally don't have it, but, I play it with you. You and Hayson both have it. And, I mean, you've played the crap out of it. You've played everything about it, and it's amazing so far. It's the ultimate experience.
We picked it up at 10 o'clock on Thursday night, and then we all three of us played for a few hours that night, and then Tanner and I, after Hayson left, we played till like 6 in the morning. And then we played all the next day, and we've played almost every night since. One thing I can say about this, that it shouldn't even need to be said, because we've known this for a while, but this game is not a port in the slightest.
Oh, no way.
Like, I know there was some people that doubted it and whatever, but
even still,
the second you touch this game, like, and play it
one match.
We started the very first match. The first match we did, I was Link, Hayson was DK, Tanner was Mario. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we played on the Great Plateau Tower, and almost immediately I was like, holy crap.
It's different.
I can feel the difference just in the movement, and like you said, it feels so fluid, it feels so in sync and just proper. I don't know what it is.
Well, and I will admit that, sure, the style looks the most similar to any
even
Smash.
The lighting, though. The lighting looks so much better.
And not only that, there is differences.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can look at a side-by-side of Bowser. Mm-hmm. He's so much more detailed. The lighting's definitely different. He almost looks more realistic. That's the thing is, I will admit, though, that's why people probably thought it was a port. Because when they saw the jump from Melee to Brawl, they're like, that's a big jump. Yeah. From Brawl to Wii U, they're like, holy crap,
big
cow.
jumps, yeah.
This was just like...
Well, other than Zelda, this is the best looking game on the console.
Oh
by
yeah.
far.
Oh yeah. I would say so. I would say so too. And the thing is with Nintendo games is it's not like from a graphics perspective. It's from a stylistic,
like an art.
It's an art.
Yeah.
Like it really is art. Like these
like
characters. Look,
Mario's mustache.
they
with
look
each
so
hair.
good. They look like a Pixar movie animated, like in this game.
Yeah,
You know, like
like
it
a
looks
really
so
nice
good,
looking.
just so clean. And one thing about Nintendo games that we've always talked about is there's just, one thing I love with Nintendo is you get the game and you put the cartridge in and it plays. And it works perfectly.
Not only that,
and like there's no
but
issues.
it's complete.
There's no
it's
the
the game is done. They
Yeah.
literally, me and Connor were making jokes because the first day we played it, we're like, was that a glitch? Because we saw something happen.
Yeah.
We were like, was that a glitch? But no,
it wasn't. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever, if I can think about it, ever experienced a real glitch in a Nintendo game.
Yeah, like
Nintendo
least commonly.
exclusive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like I can't think of it.
It's really insane the amount of care Nintendo puts into their exclusives. Like you, generally, you do not find any sort of hiccups or glitches that occur. Like it is super rare. It's a rare occasion that happens, and I think it's just because Nintendo. One thing I respect about Nintendo is when they finish their game, they put it out there and they won't release it until it is a finished game. Like, of course, every game has day one patches and stuff like that now, but like they released a complete game with Ultimate, and they did it with Mario Odyssey and Zelda. You know, that's one thing I love Nintendo does, which we were talking about in our flagship show, Super Basement Bro Show, which you can also watch on our YouTube channel. We were talking about how there's some franchises that they release a game. We were talking about Fallout 76 in our latest episode, and how they put it out more in the line of thinking, we're going to update this as we go, versus Smash Bros. Launched as a full game, plus we're going to get
Which
DLC.
I bet that Nintendo and Sakurai, they could have released Smash Bros. Ultimate last year.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, they've been working on it since
20
Wii U.
of the characters, and released a non-full
And they could have been just like, oh, we're going to update it. They could have been like, hey, we're making a port of Wii U, and we're going to update it as it goes. But instead, they remade an entire game, built it from the ground up. Of course, use assets.
Yeah, and instead, though, they took the consumer-friendly route. And like you said, this game is built from the ground up. They didn't take Wii U and just use those assets.
Well, and of course, they're smart because they use the assets they have. You know, like they use similar player models. Mm-hmm. But like as far as gameplay, it's brand new. Mm-hmm. Like you can play them side by side. They are not the same game.
Well, and that's another great thing is with characters, going on to characters a bit, is that's one thing that I was genuinely surprised about once we started playing it, is how different so many of the characters feel.
Your classic veteran ones.
So like Link, for example, has always been my main. Not always, but in Smash 4 Wii U, he was my main. And I was worried with him in Ultimate because there was a lot of changes going into him because he's the Breath of the Wild Link. And I can tell you all the changes they made are so good, and like the slight differences I love. Every character has a few differences. There, I don't think there's one character you'll find that is 100% carbon copied from Wii U or one of the older games. Like they all have something slightly different. Like Bowser, even like we were talking about, has his down smash now. He like whips his hand back and forth versus spinning in his shell.
Especially he always had the one where he grabs a dude and flies him up in the air.
Oh yeah, and it's overbeat.
Oh, I hate that.
That's one of his most popular spam moves for sure. He also can like suicide with it too, and like take them and
they can escape
the
from
cliff.
it now though.
Yeah, which is a smart.
Same with Ganondorf.
And see, there's stuff like that that is good fixes that I've noticed in the game that they've added to help competitive play. And also stuff like the parry with the shield is something they've added to where
directional dodge.
Yeah, directional air dodge, and then if you hit like the shield when it's at its like if you quickly press shield and they hit it right, it'll parry it to where it stuns the other opponents where they'll be open for an attack. Stuff like that is just so good for the competitive scene. Stuff people have been wanting for years now. I really feel like Sakurai and team just listened to all the feedback they've received over the years and went on the promise of making this the ultimate Smash Brothers. I think for all intents and purposes, this is what everything Smash could be. It's put into one package. We have all 103 stages, almost every stage from the series.
The amount of content in this game.
It's nuts. And like
it's almost overwhelming.
It really is. And that's touching on what you were talking about is World of Light, from what we've heard, neither of us have beaten it yet. You're really close, but it's around 20 to 40 hours. So it's not an easy time investment. Like that takes a lot of time, which is awesome from a content perspective. Like there's going to be so much
World of Light.
That's just World of Light.
Like think about that. There's not only that. There's Spirit
still
Board.
Classic mode
there's
too.
Classic
mode alone is probably 10 hours.
Oh, yeah, well,
or more than that.
No,
to complete every
yeah.
single character's classic mode. Oh yeah.
I think I saw someone post on Twitter. I'd have to look for it, but someone posted that to play each individual character on classic mode, I think it would take you like a full day, like 24 hours, to go through every single character for their classic mode. Which that's 24 hours alone, you know. And then if you add 20 to 40 for adventure mode, not to mention just the countless hours you spend playing Smash.
If you're average player, so I would say I'm a little bit below average compared to the average player, and I'm at 30 hours. So it's at least 25.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think like if you're not good at the game, it's gonna take you 40 hours.
Take you even longer.
And some of these challenges are tough.
And I'd have to imagine even if you're amazing at Smash Bros, I think World of Light would still take you around 20 hours. You know, just from a content.
Well, I mean,
so
what did you play on? I think you played on hard, not the hardest you can.
Oh, is there difficulties in World of Light?
There's easy.
I just did normal because I just wanted normal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Even on normal, there's a couple that you've struggled with. Like the Sonic
tough.
one.
Dude, the AI in this game is amazing.
There's a couple fights in World of Light. Like, one with... and
some of them are just cheap. Like it's so hard. You can't even attack.
Oh, yeah.
You're dead.
And I actually like that because I like that there's some sort of challenge to some of them. I like that they're not all just super easy.
Some
and
of
that
them
they're
are
all different.
Crazy easy.
Some are ridiculous. Some I just walk up and literally they don't even attack me and I throw them off and they're dead. But no, we won't be going into any like spoilers for World of Light at all if you're worried about that. There isn't a whole lot anyway.
I mean, you kind of know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but either way, we won't go into anything just in case. But we will be mentioning a few spirits. I don't think spirits are spoilers really, but like there's a Rayman spirit in the game that his fight I still haven't beat it. It's freaking ridiculous.
I'm just like, I'm not doing this.
There's that one. There's a Jigglypuff one.
Beetle, the Beetle guy.
The Beetle guy.
He throws the Beetles.
Oh yeah, I ended up and it takes you off the screen.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really tough ones. But let's go through. I kind of want to go through the modes and talk about each mode Smash Ultimate has to offer. So just for starters, let's start with the main mode that most people are going to play, which is just Smash. Classic Smash brings back 8-player Smash, so you can do anywhere from 1 player to 8 with real people or computers. You can set their difficulty level, all that jazz. You pick from 103 stage selection screen, which is nuts. Not to mention you can do Battlefield and Omega forms, which makes it like 300 and something.
How you're like 8 players, right? Locally. First of all. So we were playing COD earlier, like 2 weeks ago, right? Or something like that. We tried to do 3-player split screen. It's gone.
It's a joke.
You can't do it. Like 3-player split screen is gone. Nintendo now owns party games.
Oh yeah, it's nuts.
Like, and there's nothing else. What are you gonna play? And
that's a great point. I can't believe that that's really a thing because we were trying
to
play.
And you can do it anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
I did it at my job on my break.
Well,
it's insane.
Dude, that's another thing too. Is we all like back. I remember when the Switch was announced. Like the commercial they showed was people like at parties pulling out their Switch and handing each other the Joy-Cons, and we were all kind of like, people aren't going to actually do that. And then literally we were at a Christmas party just the other night. And that's what we did. We all set up our Switch.
6 players.
Had 6 players, all with like the little Joy-Cons, and played freaking Smash, a full-fledged HD Smash game
on 3 screens.
On 3 screens with these little
tiny
Joy-Cons,
little crappy controllers,
and it worked. And it worked great. Like it was awesome. It was fun.
Well, that's one thing that is incredible about the Switch too, because I always expected like, it's gonna suck playing on the Joy-Cons. They're not as bad as you think. Like being able to...
I really enjoy playing on both Joy-Cons.
Yeah, but even just one. It's not ideal, but it's still doable.
It still works.
Like, I was able to enjoy myself. Like, that was the funnest experience. Like, you all just show up, you put on your Switches, and you literally just sit anywhere.
That's a big thing with Smash, though. You don't have a whole lot of moves.
Yeah.
You know, there's like, 7 moves for each character, maybe?
Yeah, total. Depending on, like, the variation of how you do it, but yeah.
But really, you just need that stick,
several
and then,
buttons.
like, A, or, like, block. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have
you can fit it all on that small Joy-Con. Like I said, not ideal way to play. If you're playing competitively, you do not want to play with one Joy-Con. But, like, it works. And that's what's fun is... Part of what's fun with Smash and what makes Smash such a great fighting / party game is you can just experiment with these fighters and have fun. Like, go out there and if you're just having it as a party game, it's not always about winning. Sometimes it's just fun. It's just fun to try out these characters, see the crazy things on screen, the crazy stuff in the backgrounds. Hayson was pointing out that, like, he often gets distracted by all the cool things happening on a stage that he'll just die by accident because there's so much cool stuff happening on some of these stages, that you don't get to appreciate because you're so engulfed in the fight. But that's one thing I think Nintendo and Smash Bros. Does so well is just the attention to detail on each and every fighter, every stage. I love playing Smash competitively. That's one of my favorite things about it. But also, a main reason why I enjoy Smash is just from the pure party aspect. Like, I love just getting a bunch of people and having everyone like, oh, who do I want to pick? And there's 70 characters to choose from.
How many are there? 71?
I think there's... So if you count Pokemon Trainer as 3, because he has Charmander, or Charizard, Ivysaur,
Do they
Squirtle.
normally count him as 3?
I mean, it depends on who... on the official Smash blog, let's look. I have it pulled up, actually.
Because I don't know if I count him as 3 personally, because you have to pick Pokemon Trainer to play as them.
That's a good point.
Is Charizard a solo character? Or do you
He
have
was
to pick...
in Wii U. So Pokemon Trainer and Brawl was how he is now. And then in Wii U, they decided not to bring him back, and it was just Charizard.
Okay.
But now it's all 3 again. So there's a total of 69 fighters right now, with Piranha Plant going to be 70 next month.
Gotcha.
So 70 fighters, and that's not counting, like I said, the Pokemon
45.
Trainer. If you count, it would be like 74, 75 if you counted Pokemon Trainer and the Mii fighters, I think. I don't even think the Mii fighters are counted as 3 separate ones.
Why? Because no one wants to play as them?
Yeah, they're not very popular. But just an insane amount.
Yeah, that's crazy. What I was disappointed with is I looked at the DLC, and I thought it was going to be 5 characters for each DLC pack. It's not.
You were thinking 5 for each.
That would be crazy.
I mean, that doesn't seem crazy to me. I guess
20 or 25 characters.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like they could just port over a ton of these spirits. I mean, these spirits are big characters. Like Rayman, just put him in the game.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like,
the thing is, and I think this comes from just...
But, I was really underwhelmed with one character and one map.
See, for someone like
that's
me...
For you, it's big.
Yeah, that's big,
but,
and I think it's because I'm used to what the series is. For someone like you, I can understand.
You
get this game and you're like, 70 characters? They can add a ton. But realistically, over the years, getting a character is such a big deal because it takes... I think they interviewed Sakurai in a Famitsu column or something like that like a year ago. I can't remember. You'd have to look into this. But he said the time it takes them to fully develop a character, to balance him... Because another thing you have to think about is they create a character... And they can't just worry about him. They have to balance him with 70 other fighters. So they have to fight him alongside all 70 others, make sure he's fair with them. Because this is one problem with Bayonetta when she came in as DLC for Wii U, is a lot of people thought she wasn't balanced very well, and she wrecked. She was DLC, and she didn't balance well with the other characters. So if you were a certain character and you were playing against Bayonetta, you were screwed. Like, there was nothing you could do. If someone knew what they were doing, you were done for. And so now, they take so much time making sure these characters are balanced and fair that Sakurai was saying it could take literally up to 3 months for one character to properly balance him and make sure that all of his movesets work against other players, and like I said, it's balanced.
I mean, take a look at Overwatch. Overwatch has been around for how many years? 2014. They've added 2016 actually. 6 or 7 new characters since it came out.
Yeah, what?
That's
Overwatch.
true.
That's it.
Yeah, which
That's
isn't...
it.
How many characters does Overwatch have total?
I'm not sure. I think it's 50.
It just seems weird to me. I
well,
feel...
that's exactly what the guy who makes Overwatch says. It's just what Connor says. Is it's so hard to create a new character and have them balance out against every possible character they can fight. To where,
I don't feel like every single one has to be balanced. I do. Some characters are going to suck.
I mean, that's
even in the game right now, some characters suck.
Well, no, because if you know how to use them, they're balanced.
Exactly.
But you can't just have one that absolutely sucks. Because all of them are good if you know how to use them.
That's the thing, is and there's people, for me, Olimar is the worst character in the game. For me. I suck with him. I can't do crap. However, there are competitive players who play as Olimar and wreck. In fact, Olimar for Ultimate is already being considered a top tier character, which is nuts. Because I suck with Olimar. I can't do anything with him. And so, really, it comes down to the player and who they choose to be good with. Mm-hmm. I'm really good with Link. It doesn't mean everyone in the world's really good with Link. There's people that probably suck with Link. I'm really good with Falco. Doesn't mean everyone's good with Falco, right? There's characters that you might think suck. I don't think there's a character that is that universally is like
Well,
is atrocious.
Sakurai
There's somebody
has
that's good. At
balanced them all together.
They're all balanced to where you could get really good with this character. You might not be the best, but you.
But
could
it doesn't mean
get good.
overall they're better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is for me, the DLC they announced. Of course, I would want more. I always want more fighters. But the fact that we're getting 5, that's
is huge.
That's 5 just for this year. That's 5 in
insane.
2019.
Do you think they're gonna have to do, like Smash Bros. Ultimate again
with all the DLC?
Yeah. Well, like with all DLC, like they're not gonna do it again. But on their next console, they're gonna have to make a new Smash Bros. Right?
Yeah. Well,
are they gonna do Ultimate and have every character ever in it again, or is Ultimate like the game for the?
That's the thing is, I think that's a topic for another day because the future of Smash Bros. Is an interesting question now. Now that we have the Ultimate game, there's rumors that Sakurai might not be. He might retire or work on something else entirely.
Never get it, Smash Bros. Again.
And that's a legit possibility. I wouldn't be surprised if Smash Bros. Goes in a completely different direction next generation. There's one Smash Bros. Per every Nintendo console.
Thing is, I'm thinking that Smash Bros. Will become like Overwatch, Fortnite, those kind of games, ongoing games. There is not going to be a Fortnite 2.
Yeah.
Like maybe 20 years down the road. Maybe there'll be an Overwatch 2 20 years down the road.
Fortnite hasn't even released.
Yeah, exactly. But they keep these ongoing games because they just add updates every once in a while. They add characters. I personally think that that's what Smash Brothers is. That's why
once you get to new consoles,
that's
though,
the question. That's the question.
Oh, no, because the type of graphics it is. That's the thing. Is I think eventually.
Well, they would have to port it to the new system.
They'll port it.
But I don't think people are going to want that. What my assumption is you have to remember the Switch is very early in its life cycle. It's not the Xbox One and PS4. Switch just launched 2 years ago. So it's only a 2-year console.
Whereas we're getting like a PS4 and Xbox like next year. Probably.
Yeah, exactly. And in
Xbox at least, I think.
Actually, crazily enough, the Switch isn't even 2 years old yet. Yeah. It'll be 2 years old in March.
Mm-hmm.
So
last year was a big launch year.
Yeah, last year was its
when you couldn't
launch year. Yeah, exactly. So it's a brand new console. It's a brand new console to where they have, if they want, they can milk this thing for 5-6 more years if they want to. So I'd imagine we're gonna get 5 fighters with 5 stages and music over the course of 2019, which for me is so much already.
That seems like that seems like so much.
That's the thing is like to someone who's new, I can understand where you're coming from, but for veterans who have played the series forever, that sounds amazing.
Considering
5 fighters for DLC.
When Ultimate got announced, we were legit thinking, 2 new characters.
Yeah.
Like at the most, how many did we get?
We got 10 new characters for Ultimate.
Counting
already.
Echoes.
Yeah.
But like,
and plus all the ones brought back.
They're kind of clones. Like, so, have you gotten Ken yet?
I've got Ryu.
Okay, so Ryu and Ken they're echoes of each other because they have very similar moves.
Well, Ken's Ryu's echo.
Yeah, Ken's
so it's like Mario, the same as like Luigi.
No, because they're not echoes because they have totally different movesets.
They'll be a little like it's like an E, like a little E that is above their number on the selection screen, and what it is
like Samus and Dark Samus. They have the same moves, similar moves, but they're slightly different.
Going back, we'll do a quick little history lesson on Echo Fighters. Back in like Melee is when it was the second Smash Brothers. There was characters like Ganondorf and Falco. Ganondorf in Melee was a clone of Captain Falco.
Like a straight
He's
clone.
literally he has the exact same moves.
Ganondorf?
Yeah,
Ganondorf
in Melee.
Was the same as
Captain Falcon.
As Captain Falcon.
Oh, Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon. Okay. His moves were the exact same. They literally just took his moves and put a skin of Ganondorf on the top.
Same with Falco.
Falco
for Fox.
Yeah.
Falco was literally Fox.
Yeah.
Nothing different. He was just different skin.
And so back in the day, people complained being like, hey, you didn't add a new fighter. You just put a skin on this guy, basically. And so over the years, Sakurai has made a way to make them just different enough, but to where he doesn't want to lie and be like, they're a completely new character. He wants you to know, like, they're
kind of a clone.
They're a clone, but they have differences.
So what echoes did they add in this game?
Daisy.
So Daisy is an echo to Peach.
Dark Samus.
They didn't have Daisy in the game originally?
No, Daisy's brand new. Dark Samus to Samus.
Ken to Ryu.
Ken to Ryu.
Lucina to Marth, which she was in
Wii U. And then
Dark Pit to
Pit.
And
then I think that's it.
No. Richter to Simon.
Yeah. And so basically they're the same character, but they just have tiny differences, like more in like animation style than moves. But it was actually a really smart
Chrom.
rebranding. Oh,
Chrom to Roy.
Chrom to Roy.
But Chrom is one that we've talked about before.
Chrom's the best
who
Echo
deserves
character, in
his
my
own
opinion.
character slot, but he still made him an Echo. Because Chrom's completely different.
Well, Chrom, what they did with Chrom is they took traits from Roy and Ike and put them in one character to where he's like a combination.
Because I think he's an Echo of both. I think he's an Echo.
Yeah, more so than just Roy. But anyway, Echo characters are a really cool addition. And I wouldn't be surprised if they add like an Echo pack or DLC fighter pack in the future too. That's the thing we have to remember is, so with the Wii U, when the DLC was announced for Wii U, another thing is Wii U was the first Smash Bros. Game we ever got DLC for. That was a huge deal. And we didn't know how much we were getting. I think we ended up getting 10 fighters in total. But you have to remember that 5 of those fighters, at least, were returning characters from the series.
Mewtwo,
like Lucas, Mewtwo, Roy, I think there's a couple more. I'm just
Can't do
blanking.
that this year though.
They can't now because it's Ultimate, and that's why. That's what's exciting about the DLC for Ultimate is they've confirmed already because we know they're all brand new characters.
They're all brand new characters to the series.
Brand new and they have to be because all the characters are back from Smash Bros. They can't be returning. Yeah, so these are going to be brand new, original, brand new move style fighting characters, which is super exciting.
Which also gives me and Connor hope because it could be literally anyone. Because we got Joker from Persona as the first one.
That was weird.
Yeah, so let's go and transition to that.
out?
We actually have a piece of news this week. We'll go back into our thoughts on Ultimate in a minute. But at the Game Awards just a few days ago, it was the night Smash Bros. Launched. They had a surprise DLC fighter announcement.
As we were picking up the game.
As we were picking up the game, there was a surprise announcement that Joker from the Persona series, specifically Persona 5, which is exclusive to PlayStation, is coming to Smash Bros. Ultimate as the first DLC fighter for the Fighter Pass. Piranha Plant isn't part of that, which is crazy.
So Piranha Plant's a whole nother, like it's a free character.
He's a free character.
It's not DLC.
No.
You're still going to get 5 more characters.
5 characters after Piranha Plant. So we still have 4 unannounced characters. But this announcement came completely out of left field to me. I remember literally Hayson and I were sitting there in line for Ultimate basically, watching this trailer, and it started and it's Persona, and I'm like, it's just a Persona trailer. I kind of was hoping for something because they did this cool thing where like the screens flickered and something crazy was happening. We're like, what is happening?
We're like, oh, it's Persona 5 or Persona 5. Who cares?
Yeah, I was just like, oh, is it Persona 5? I was like, it's gonna be Persona 5 on Switch or just like a port or something like that. And then all of a sudden, freaking the guy Joker turns around the card and there's the Smash logo, and I saw it and I literally looked over at Hayson. Hayson's like, did you see that? And I was like, what the frick? I'm like, this is a Smash Bros trailer. I would have never guessed that they were going to do a Smash Bros.
What
trailer.
if they're doing that with all of the characters?
That'd
Like,
be
what
awesome.
if in like during the Super Bowl, they like
There's
Nintendo
oh my
buys
gosh.
buys an ad,
Dude,
and
that'd
it's
be so
like
crazy cool.
bringing up
During
like,
the Super
characters
Bowl,
or something. I don't know something.
halftime show.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
Just
That would
Justin
be awesome.
They
Timberlake's
could do
like,
stuff
I'm in
like that
Smash.
and just make these huge announcements.
Dude, they could, and I actually really hope they do because one thing with the Wii U DLC is they would just announce them. There wasn't a cool
And then
trailer.
they'd just come out.
They would literally just go on like Twitter or whatever and be like, hey, Bayonetta or Cloud from Final Fantasy, a third-party game who Cloud has never been on a Nintendo platform, is coming to Smash Brothers. And there's no cool trailer for it or anything. They just announce it. So it's like, it was like, whoa, that's crazy, but it wasn't super hype. So I'm hoping with each DLC character we got for Ultimate, I hope they do a trailer because that would be really cool. Especially if you didn't see it coming. Like, imagine at E3 next year, we're just watching a trailer for Banjo-Kazooie something, and all of a sudden he pulls out a card with a logo.
Well, that's what I'm
It's
thinking
like,
too, because like the Game Awards, Nintendo's never been very prominent at the Game Awards.
Well, they have the last few years. Actually.
Well, the last few years, but in the past, you think of the Game Awards like they never really announced anything.
Someone's gonna blow up this year because PS4, PlayStation's not there.
Yeah,
at
so.
E3, yeah.
And that's the thing is, I loved that last year we got Zelda DLC. This year we got Smash DLC, and I'm hoping that, like you said, at E3, at the Microsoft press conference, not at the Nintendo one. So nobody's gonna be expecting Smash something. Just randomly during the press conference, all of a sudden it's like
Master Chief.
Master Chief,
legit.
or even
that'd be insane.
Dude, they could do.
Here's
freaking-
what I will say with the Joker announcement.
Nobody
Is this?
is off the list.
I think this is one of the craziest announcements in terms of this character, Joker, literally has not been on a Nintendo platform before. Persona, there is a couple Persona games.
PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, there's a couple Persona games on Nintendo 3DS or something like that. But this character Joker, I don't think has appeared in any of them. He might have appeared in one as like a side character, but his game is exclusive to PlayStation, which is nuts. So that means, in my mind, that nobody's off limits.
Right.
I feel like, and the other thing is too, is we have to remember, Sakurai confirmed that Nintendo picked the DLC for Smash Ultimate for the first time, which normally he's in charge of it. He decided to let Nintendo be in charge of it. And if Nintendo decided to get a third-party character who has only been on PlayStation systems to be in Smash Ultimate, that makes me think they could freaking get anyone if they wanted to. If they want, they got Joker of all people. Nobody saw that coming. Like, nobody. I mean, maybe people threw out a dumb prediction, but nobody legit thought that he would be in the game.
No way.
So that opens the floodgates for possibilities that I think nobody is expecting. Which gets me really excited because I feel like a lot of people have smart ideas for who could legitimately possibly be the characters. Versus now, which I'm hoping we just get some really obscure ones that nobody would have ever thought of. Which to me is exciting personally. Because I want to be surprised. I have never played the Persona game, but now I'm intrigued. Now I'm thinking about maybe playing a Persona game because their protagonist is going to be in Smash Brothers. That makes me excited. I love stuff like that. Gets me excited to try out.
What if all
his
5
moveset
characters
stuff.
are from Persona?
I would cry if that was the case.
That's
that would
one
be
thing
ridiculous.
yeah. But hopefully
They just
they're
signed
doing
a giant deal with Smash Bros. And they're like, yeah, every character
See,
has
I'm
to have
hoping
That'd be
that they'd keep it one per series. Because I don't want the rest 4 to be all Final Fantasy or Fire Emblem, I mean.
Yeah, Fire
Like,
Emblem.
imagine that all the rest are Fire Emblem. It's like, we already got so many.
Yeah, I don't think any would be Fire Emblem. If there was, I'd be really disappointed.
See, I'd hope that they just limit 1 per series.
I hope so too. I think
Even
that'd
if
be
we
cool.
got another Fire Emblem, I wouldn't be upset as long as we didn't get more.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, I would be upset if one of the DLC characters was Fire Emblem, only
the big
because
Black Knight
we
dude.
already have, 7, 8 freaking
The
Fire
big
Emblem
Black
characters.
Knight dude.
That would be cool, but he's an assist trophy.
Still.
So I don't think he would be in it.
I don't think assist trophies are necessarily deconfirmed.
I do. I think assist trophies are deconfirmed. I don't think they'll be in the game. Spirits are definitely not, though. If they're a spirit, they can totally be a fighter in my mind. I just think they wouldn't have put the effort into making the assist trophy if they knew they weren't going to put him as a fighter.
They picked after they had already finalized the game.
Yeah, I mean, and that is true. Nintendo could go up to Sakurai and be like, "Hey, we really want Waluigi. Put him in. I know he's an assist trophy, but we're telling you that's who we want, and it's possible, I guess." Which I think would be awesome. I think that'd be awesome to finally get Waluigi.
Well, how Mario, Luigi, and Wario are in, but not Waluigi. It's just insane to me.
It is. It
It's
is
those,
really
you gotta
crazy.
have those 4.
Well, and
Like,
it's also
you gotta have those 4 fighting on a screen.
that'd be so cool.
How is that not a thing? And you could do teams like
Yeah.
Wario and Waluigi
Waluigi
versus
versus
Luigi and Mario.
Dude, that
Are
would be
Wario
cool.
and Waluigi not related? Like Mario and Luigi?
They're like the bad guys of aren't
Yeah,
they?
Yeah.
they're the bad versions. That's why it's
It's
Luigi.
been a lot of people have
Wario,
talked about
Mario.
it, but officially from Nintendo, there's no confirmation from what I've heard that they're related. Mario and Luigi are brothers, obviously, but Wario and Waluigi, they haven't confirmed if they're related or not, or if they're just like estranged friends or something like that. Yeah, I would assume in my world they're brothers. Like, why wouldn't they be? If Mario and Luigi are, why would they?
Mario and Waluigi.
Wario and Waluigi, like, yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, I'm freaking pumped for the DLC. Joker's coming probably. When do you guys think Joker will come out? The first, so like we said, we know there's 5 DLC characters
Well,
for
when
the
did
Fire
they start
Pass.
working on it?
Just barely. So that's another thing. That's what I love about Nintendo. So many people got pissed when, or for example, recently Spider-Man came out, and they announced the day Spider-Man came out that or like a week before that, the season pass, the first DLC pack was coming like 2 months later, which people were like, what the frick? And they're like, oh, we've already been working on it too. It's like, well, why isn't it just part of the base game? I'm fine with the way they did it, but a lot of people were upset about it. This is one thing I love about Nintendo is the Sakurai confirmed we didn't start working on the DLC until the game was finished, until the game had gone gold. And so the characters are like hot off the press. Like they probably haven't even, the only one they've probably started working on is Joker now. And then I bet you the rest they'll start working on once Joker's
Well, I
finished.
mean, it's gonna come out after Piranha Plant.
Yeah.
So
But Piranha Plant's in January.
So Piranha Plant sounds like it'll be
Summer?
like January 31st. I'd assume my guess is
I think
gonna
it's
be
quarterly.
March.
it has to be faster than quarterly though. If they're doing 5
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah, it has to be 5 by the end of next year.
but the thing is I think what they mean by the end of next year will be same time Piranha Plant came out. So
Maybe.
by January 31st next year.
Well, yeah, and that
I
is
think-
possible
I
because they
think
did
it'll
say it'll
Yeah.
Quarterly
it-
still, though,
and
that's
Because I
November
think
2024.
they're
24
meaning
characters.
a year from when Piranha Plant starts. Because then,
but there's still 5 characters.
Because then we'll get Persona Dude, like maybe end of May.
You think that late?
That late? Yeah, I think that late.
My assumption would be March for Joker, because if you think about it, he
2
just got
months
announced.
after?
Well, think about it. He just got announced, so clearly they've had to start working on him now. We got all of December. That's a month, basically. January, a full month. February, a full month. Then March, that's almost 4 months for him. I think that's plenty of time. I think we'll see him probably the end of March, and then I think we'll see the second one June.
Summer.
I think the second one will be an E3 announcement. I think at E3...
No, I think, yeah, I agree with that one, but I think maybe April at the latest then.
Yeah, April the latest, in my opinion, for Joker. I think...
But I don't think any earlier than that, honestly.
Oh, no, I don't either. He's definitely not coming February. Because Piranha Plant's coming like January 31st, February. So there's no way he's coming February. But I'm assuming April at the latest. March is my guess. June for the second one. They'll announce at E3. I'm going to say August, September for the third.
Yeah, maybe.
And then October, November for the fourth.
And then December,
And then
January.
the fifth one will be January of 2020. Yeah. That's my guess.
You never know. They might even release 2 at the same time.
Yeah, it's possible. And another thing, too, is...
I mean, didn't we have that with Roy and Lucas?
No, they were like a couple months apart, but they were pretty close.
There was a couple characters that came out at the same time.
No,
Cloud
they were
and
close. It was Mewtwo came out first, and I think Lucas was literally like a month later. But,
Well, do you... sorry, go ahead, Will.
Oh, no, you are correct. It was the end of the DLC.
Yeah.
It was Corrin and Cloud.
They came out at the same time.
They came out the same day.
Yeah, I was gonna say. One of them came out at the same time.
Yeah, it was the very last pack, I think.
Speaking of DLC, then, do you think that there's gonna be a second pack?
Well, that's what I was going to touch on, too, is one thing people forget, I haven't seen a lot of people bring this up with Wii U Smash Bros, was that there was the DLC announced. They never confirmed how many there was going to be. It was different than Ultimate. But also, there was random stuff they would just release. Like, there was a Mario Maker stage that literally that came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, hey, we made a Mario Maker stage. It's on the eShop if you want to buy it. It's like $1.50, $2 or something. And then they're like, oh, also there's a Miiverse stage, which we knew was coming, but they're like, it's available now. It's free. Also, Wind Waker, the stage is up now. You can buy it for $1.50 or whatever. Pirate Ship. It's like, they would just drop random things like that weren't part of the season pass, quote unquote, or whatever. So, I'd imagine my hope with Ultimate is that we might get some random drops throughout the year.
You're thinking, like, if you wait 2 years, we're saying Smash is gonna have 80 characters.
Oh,
82 characters.
My assumption.
That's insane for a fighting game.
Well, I think that, but the thing is they're not gonna stop adding to this game until it's dead. They're gonna milk Smash Bros. They're gonna milk this game until they have to make a new one. The thing is that's one thing they realized they failed with Wii U is they stopped and then people dropped off the game, right? Because like me and Connor always talk about, Smash is literally probably our favorite game of all time.
Well, it's evergreen too.
Yeah, and the problem with it though is like we'll play it a ton. Me and Connor, we'll play it and last with Wii U. Once Bayonetta came out and after we finished grinding the game out, I personally didn't play it for a year almost. Like,
see, I mean, I played it still, but not
every once in a while.
Consistently.
Yeah, but every once in a while.
But that's with every game. I mean, even like, and Fortnite's not even a comparison because it's a different type of game. But stuff like Overwatch, I can imagine people falling off until the next DLC comes out.
But that's the thing is with Smash Bros. I feel like they're not going to do that. I feel like it's just going to be DLC pack 1, and then in between that they'll be like, oh hey, Poke Floats.
Yeah,
they'll be like, hey, a costume pack.
Yeah.
It comes with alternate skins.
Which would be awesome.
Which I really hope they do because they have so much potential to satisfy fans. They could literally be like, hey, Dry Bowser's an alternate for 50 cents.
Yeah.
I'd be like, frick yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be awesome. And
like, why not do that?
I mean, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I think this first year is going to be a test. And I honestly think how well the Fighter Pass does for Ultimate will determine the DLC going forward. I think Nintendo's always been smart that way with their money. They're always smart that way financially. They're not the type of company that just throws out tons of DLC toward a game like other companies do, like EA and whatnot. They're much more protective of it, which from a financial standpoint might be smart, but it also can be frustrating sometimes as a consumer, especially if you want new content. But my assumption will be I think the Fighter Pass will do pretty darn good. I think it especially helped that they announced Joker. And I think the only reason they announced Joker when they did is because people were a little upset that they didn't announce any fighter with the DLC packs. They just announced,
they were like,
get the
why
Fighter
should we
Pass.
buy
They're
it?
like, yeah, why should we buy it? Who's in it? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So they announced Joker to entice people. And I think the Fighter Pass will do well. And my assumption will be February 2020, they'll announce a second Fighter Pass for 2020.
They'll announce. When do you think they'll announce the rest of the characters for the current Fighter Pass?
I think it'll just be a case-by-case basis. I think it's going to be one at a time. They're definitely not going to announce all of them.
Well, do you think that they'll do it before the next one comes out?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you think that all Fighter Pass characters will be announced before Joker comes out?
No.
As a character?
Oh, definitely not. No. 100% no.
So you think we'll be able to play as Joker before we even know who the rest are?
Before we even know who the second one is.
You think so?
I think so. I think what's going to happen is...
No, I think the next one will be announced January. Piranha Plant.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't think so. I think what will happen is Joker will come out. We won't know who the next one is, and it'll be like at Nintendo Directs. There'll be a Nintendo Direct in March. Joker will come out the week before, and then they'll announce the second one. They're like, he's coming June. Or
See,
whatever.
that's... I might think that too, though. Because the thing is, I feel like they're going to do a system where it's going to be like, when one character comes out, we announce the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
That way, they always keep people
'cause-
interested. Because that way, when the fifth one comes out of this pack, they can be like, Fighter Pass 2.
Yeah,
And
Fighter
then
Pass
they
2
can be
coming
like,
out.
boom, boom, boom. And then people never lose interest.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is with Wii U, they didn't announce them all ahead of time. The only one we knew about, like, ahead was Lucas, I think, once Mewtwo wasn't even out yet, or something like that. But beyond that, I don't think we knew any in the future. They would just announce them when they felt like it. So...
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder if it would help or hurt the Fighter Pass if they came out up front and just announced who was in it. Because the thing is right now that it's a mystery, I think it might be actually... I don't know. I don't know if it's helping them because I think some people might just be buying it not knowing. And if they found
like
out...
us.
Because, right, yeah, like I'm going to buy it without knowing. If they didn't even have to announce Joker and I would have bought it.
But they could be like Shrek, Donkey, Fiona, Shrek again, and then Donkey again.
Yeah,
and
and
it's
then
like, frick!
some people might be like, "Oh, I don't want those characters." Like,
they
what
already
if
bought
right
it.
now they announce it's going to be Goomba, Koopa Troopa,
Goomba Girl,
Koopa Girl,
Koopa Troopa
Waluigi.
Red.
Yeah, if they announced it, people would be like, "Oh, I don't want those characters," and not buy it. The fact that it's a mystery right now, I think,
Is making
people
people buy
just
more.
be like, "I'm just going to buy it."
I honestly
I'm
think
sure
so,
I
too.
trust them.
I mean, it's kind of like with any season pass in a game.
I think the question
I bought
to ask
the Call of
honestly
Duty
right
season
now-
pass without knowing what the content was.
Yeah, I think the question to ask right now is to Hayson. Like, Hayson, what you know about the Fighter Pass as of right now?
Would you buy it?
Would you buy it? Regardless of what you think of the game itself. Like, what would you buy the Fighter Pass?
I love the game, and I would not buy it right now. No.
Would you buy it right now if they announced who all 5 characters were?
Depending on who the characters were.
Banjo-Kazooie, Waluigi. That's all we know so far. Let's say that. Would you buy it?
No.
Still
Not
wouldn't?
yet. I might buy, like, Waluigi.
Oh, so you might just buy them individually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on the ones I like. I mean, it depends, because, like, right now I'm just, like, addicted. Like, that's all I've played in my free time, so I haven't gotten deep into it. Like, I feel like in a few months I'm going to be, like, not playing it a whole lot, which I think that happens with a lot of Smash Bros.
Yeah, well, that happens with a lot of games, period.
So, I'm not sure quite yet, because it's like I said, as far as I go, since I've never been into a Smash Bros. Series, it feels underwhelming to me that there's only one character. Which, to everyone else, like you guys, obviously, and most big Smash fans are like, holy cow.
It's a big deal.
Only character. But for me, it's just like, meh. One character, 2 characters.
Yeah.
Every like 4 months. It's kind of
I mean, but the fact that we already have 2 announced is pretty insane. I mean, we have Piranha Plant and Joker.
Piranha Plant not being part of the Fighter Pass,
but
but
still,
yeah.
but still
2
being-
characters
yeah.
on the horizon. who are in
Still
the
2
game.
new characters.
Which I
we
want to
haven't
play as
played
Piranha Plant.
Piranha Plant looks really
Just
fun.
because it's interesting. It's like a weird... Like, I don't even know how that's
He
going to
looks
work.
Yeah.
good.
Like, shouldn't he just sit there and just bite? Like,
Yeah. And it's
But-
free, which is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, free update. As long
no,
as you
but it's
register.
only if you have the
Yeah,
game
if you-
before.
yeah.
The biggest
You have to
marketing
have
scheme on the whole planet.
Don't you have to have Nintendo Online?
No.
I don't think so. I don't. Well, that's a good question.
You just have
but-
to have the game, I think.
Yeah, as long as you have the game. They
Play
say
it.
Don't
on
you have to use Nintendo
You have to have the
Online
game
coins?
and play it like on your
Yeah,
account.
but that's not for the membership. You can have Nintendo Online coins without the membership. That's just like their online account.
So you have to use coins to get them, though?
No, it's free.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
this is something I was looking up kind of while you guys were talking. And it's not... It is Smash related, but it's kind of not. Big gaming news. Mortal Kombat got announced.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So there's 77 characters in Mortal Kombat right now.
Okay.
Do you think Mortal Kombat is going to see the success of Smash Bros. And be like, all 77 characters are going to go in.
That would be insane.
Because
it's
coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
Like Mortal Kombat's coming to
Oh,
the
you
Switch.
think they're gonna
do it?
You think they're gonna do like
An
Mortal
Ultimate
Kombat
version?
Ultimate?
Yeah.
All
That's
characters
what.
from
That's,
It's obviously
we brought that
11,
up in our last episode.
but-
Actually, is I brought up that for fighting games, it works perfectly to do that.
Mm-hmm. I was looking at the roster though. They have 77 characters, which that's more than Smash right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, obviously, a lot of them aren't known because it's Mortal Kombat,
and a lot of
are
them
like,
haven't been in the series for a long time.
Yeah.
Like
So
they haven't had
even
Ultimate
even a
game,
lot
like-
of them are exact clones of the other ones.
Yeah, so that would be one heck of a overtaking if
That'd
they did
be
that.
that'd be awesome. I think there's
know
and
no
you
what?
have it, and I think you would have a competitor for it'd kind of be like PUBG versus Fortnite
a third party.
They might be doing that
you'd have
because
The thing
the
is,
Mortal Kombat trailer, whatever his name,
shows
Raiden
the
kills
classic.
Scorpion, and then classic Scorpion comes out.
Yeah, in
There's
my
two
opinion,
Scorpions
there's
in
not a chance in heck of that happening. And the reason why is
don't think
because
they're
they
gonna
would
do an
have they
Ultimate?
would have I think they would have done it with the opening trailer.
Well,
Been
no,
like,
because they didn't do that with Smash.
well, yeah, but that was
Smash's teaser, they
But
didn't
the
say
thing is,
Ultimate.
they didn't even have a title for it. Yet.
Exactly, but that doesn't matter.
They have a title.
The
for
thing
it.
is, with Mortal Kombat, they literally were like teaser trailer.
Guess
just
when
like
Mortal
Smash.
Kombat 11 comes out though?
February.
Yeah.
Are you
It's like-
no
it's
way?
spring, yes.
Spring.
I think it's
It's
April.
next year.
Frick,
It's
dude.
April.
It's
yeah,
really
so
quick.
it's like a few months away.
What the heck, dude?
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
this game is
So
like
I can't tell if it's like a cash grab or maybe they've been working on this thing for years now.
Yeah,
I bet
who
they.
knows?
I mean, look at the trailer.
Well, no, the thing is NetherRealm or makes it, and Injustice 2 came out 2016. So they've only had 2 years to be working on this. I think there's no way. There's no way. That would be awesome if they do that in the future, or if they decided, hey, we're gonna do DLC that eventually has.
See, the thing
every
is,
character.
if they do that, I'm gonna buy Mortal Kombat for the first time.
I'm already
ever.
gonna get it because it's on the Switch.
yeah, which is cool.
Well, I'm not gonna be sold if they only have 20 characters because I'm gonna be like, I have Smash. I can just play
Yeah.
Smash.
Well, the
You
thing
know what I
is too is with Smash, you ask the question like, it'll be a competitor or whatever. The only reason I don't think it will at all is because Smash and Mortal Kombat are completely different audiences. Mortal Kombat is a mature fighting game adult audience. In fact, like they're not like Smash Bros. This one's rated E for everyone, which anyone can play this game. Kids, parents, and everyone has fun with it. It's honestly a lot of people don't even consider it a fighting game, which is weird. I do. But a lot of people consider it a party platformer because you're platforming like you do in
And it's
Mario.
not like combo.
Yeah, it's not like
dun, dun,
combos.
dun,
It's
dun.
not one-on-one always. You can do up to 8 people on the screen. Mortal Kombat, you can only do one-on-one. There's no 4-player fighting or anything like that. So Mortal Kombat is just a completely different. It's much more serious. It takes itself much more serious as a fighting game. Versus Smash Bros is much more of a fun collection of just Nintendo nostalgia and just video game nostalgia. It just puts it all into like this museum package. And it can be treated as a fighting game. It can be treated as an adventure mode, fun, fight these random spirits game. It can be taken as just a party game with tons of people. I think that's the difference between the two. And Mortal Kombat is just much more dark and much more adult-oriented.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I don't think they would compete whatsoever. And if they were, I think Smash would destroy in terms of Switch sales. Obviously, Mortal Kombat will be on PlayStation and Xbox too. But in terms of Switch sales, Smash Bros is gonna.
I mean,
It's already breaking records. That's another thing we needed to talk about. Is it broke like UK records for Switch sales or something like that?
I work retail,
Uh-huh.
and this game's launch was bigger than I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
As I've been working for 4 years in retail,
Mm-hmm.
so I've seen the launch of Call of Duty's not at peak, but
Yeah.
like I've seen the launch of a lot of really good games, and by far this game had the biggest line
Really?
as far as like my store went. So
That's
like,
awesome.
I'm surprised. Like, hasn't it smashed like game release? Smashed game release sales? Like, what is it going on right now?
The thing is, Nintendo's, from what I understand, kind of cagey about releasing that information. But what we do know is in the UK, it like destroyed Switch records. Like for a Switch game, I think it has the biggest launch for a Switch game.
Like the company I work for is supposed to do 70,000 copies
Holy crap!
in one weekend.
Wow.
Just that company.
Just that weekend.
Yeah. So like that's a lot.
Yeah, if you add
And we're not even that
everyone
big of
else.
a company compared to like GameStop
Uh-huh.
or something
For
so-
games especially.
yeah,
And like
Best
Best Buy and yeah. And also just like in UK like EB Games and all these things. So yeah, it's insane. I imagine I think it's obviously going to do the best numbers any Smash game has done. And I think that's because the Switch has a big install base, bigger than the Wii U had by a mile. And so It's going to make way more money than Wii U. Brawl's the most successful, I think, right now, money-wise, and I think it'll pass Brawl because it's the ultimate game. You know, it's like everything. People who grew up playing any of the Smash Bros., and whether they liked them or not, like you're a perfect example, Hayson. Like, somebody who maybe dabbled in it with their friends now and then is going to look at this game and be like, man, all my friends are playing this game. I remember kind of playing some of these characters back in the day, some of these stages, and be able to go back and play them.
Like, I remember playing Falco and just, like, trolling my friend, but I was just, like, going back and forth on the screen with his, like...
dash thing.
The dash thing, just like, goo-goo, and then get so pissed off. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So...
And that's the thing, is, like, a lot of people, I'd say, even if they didn't, like, play Smash a ton, have some memory... Like, that's what's so great about Smash Bros. Is... It really is just a great party game to where everyone has, like, these memories with them. Tanner and I, on the last episode, went on this kind of rant about just talking about the midnight launch for Brawl and how, like, important that was for me personally as, like, a gamer. Like, I still remember... That was the first midnight launch I went to, and that really set me on the path it did with, like, Smash Bros. And my love for Nintendo and stuff. And... Yeah, I think it's just a great combination for adults and kids, and anyone can kind of jump in, you know, and enjoy playing it. Let's go ahead and move on to another section of the game. So we talked about Smash a little bit. They added a couple other modes called Squad Strike, and then there's also Special Smash, which has been around for a while. And then Tourney is back, which Tourney's been absent since
Tourney's
Brawl.
just tournaments, right?
Yeah, and Tourney is awesome, dude.
I can't believe that wasn't in Wii U one.
Yeah, dude,
that seems like a main one to have.
Exactly, and I think the same way, and I think a lot of the modes in Smash Wii U kind of get crapped on because they were kind of just filler, which is understandable. They were kind of just put in there just for content's sake, and they got rid of some important modes like Tourney, and Tourney is one of my favorite modes there is, and I'm so glad it's back. We used to play Brawl tournaments all the time. In fact, we would still, since we couldn't do tournaments on Wii U, we would go back and play Brawl tournaments. Because it was the only way for us to do it, you know?
GameCube?
Yeah, on the Wii.
Wii.
And so, yeah, Brawl had it on the Wii, and then Melee had it on the GameCube. And now it's finally back for Ultimate, and it's amazing. It's just like how
all
it
the
used to
game
be.
modes back, too.
That'd be cool. Yeah, bring every game mode back. Smash Run from or Smash Tour from Wii U.
That one was pretty cool, though.
It was okay. It was fine.
I like Smash Tour. It was also on the 3DS.
It was Smash Run on the 3DS. But, yeah, so Tourney's back. I love Tourney. If you want, like, it's sometimes Tourney's even fun by yourself. You can set up just a tournament with a bunch of the characters, see who comes out on top.
The best
really
character.
The best character.
It kind of be. I guess I didn't think about that. I could play as every character, and kind of just see which ones I'm best with.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. That's kind of smart because like I have like 8 characters that I'm trying to figure out which one I'm best with.
Like who to main.
Yeah, and so that could kind of be a way. I didn't even think about that. That could be a good way to kind of see who I'm best with.
It is, yeah, and it's a lot of fun too because. Speaking of that, another thing you can do is Squad Strike. I don't know if you've tried Squad Strike.
Mm-mm.
So
I've only done Adventure. I did a couple classics and then just regular Smash.
Just regular Smash. Times.
Mostly Adventure though.
Yeah. You've been playing a lot of World of Light, which we'll talk about in a sec. But Squad Strike is it's probably my favorite new mode in Ultimate. And what it is, if you don't know, is you pick 5 characters, 5 or 3 or 5 characters. And you face off against one other player who picks 3 to 5 characters, and each stock you have, so each life you have is a different character. So I pick my 5 mains basically. Like I'll pick Link, Falco, Chrom, Ganondorf, and Mario, and they're my 5. And then the other person will pick 5, and you start out as your first one, so it'll be like Mario versus Link or whatever. Or Mario versus Zero Suit Samus, or whatever you want to do, whoever the other team is. And once you die, you'll move on to your next stock, your next character. And you go through all of them until you lose all of them.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's really cool. It's a really great competitive mode if you just want to test out your fighter, see who you're best at, and then you can stack up your mains and have like this epic cast of characters that you're really good with, and see how long you last, with them, and who's your best out of all of them. That's my new favorite mode. And then, let's see here. What else do we got? I think we can go ahead and go on to World of Light. I think that's the next thing.
We missed Spirit Mode.
Spirit Mode, that's true. There's Spirit Mode.
Which
is whatever.
So Battlefront had, what's the mode called? It was like, the one where you just click diorama mode. Remember diorama mode in Battlefront? Yeah, the Star Wars one.
I can't remember.
It's basically spirit mode. So you
Is
unlock
it?
these spirits, and it's just a picture, really, right? Like, I mean, obviously they can do things.
Yeah.
But diorama mode in Battlefront, you would play, and it's just this big diorama, and you unlock parts of it as you just play the game.
Oh, I think I do remember this.
And it was like the worst mode ever.
Yeah.
But like, that's kind of what spirit mode reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, can you use spirits in regular play?
So you can if you want. So you can set up like a spirit battle, but it has to be specific because
You can't just
spirits
like,
can help you.
add it.
Yeah, because like spirits can help you. So it'd be unfair if you did like
Mhm.
I have this freaking level 100 spirit and I'm gonna face off against this guy who has no spirits and then you Shrek him because of it. But yeah. So spirit mode is so there's the spirit board and it's different than World of Light. And spirit mode is okay. Basically what it is, if you're familiar with past Smash games, if you remember event mode, it's a lot like event mode, but not as cool to me because also there's no co-op with it, which is unfortunate. Event mode had co-op. And it's really, you basically just face off against a spirit.
How to smash.
How to smash.
I've been making this joke at, like all weekend. I've been like, "Hey, you want to smash?
You want to smash?
Smash, bro."
Hey,
Sorry, I completely interrupted you.
Hey,
there.
let's super smash, bro. No, you're fine. But on spirit board, basically, you fight someone who represents another spirit fighter. Like you can get Waluigi's spirit, and the fighter you face is Luigi in his purple outfit. It's supposed to look like Waluigi, and then you do that fight. If you win, you have to do like this gun challenge game where you shoot a gun at the spirit. And if you get the spirit, you just unlock it, and it goes across all spirits mode, World of Light, and all of that. It's an okay mode. It's whatever. But going on to the main adventure mode, which this is their sequel, essentially, to Subspace Emissary, kind of, but not really. What are your thoughts on it, Hayson? You've been playing it the most.
So adventure mode. Really what it is, you kind of explained it already, a big portion of it, is the spirits.
The spirits,
You unlock, so if you don't want to know how to unlock characters really easy, I'm sure you know already, right? How to like unlock characters really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So you can play in classic mode, and basically you just play a match, and you earn each character.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, because you play as Sonic, you play as Mario, you unlock Sonic, and Sonic unlocks blah and blah blah blah, until you go on down the road. But in adventure mode, you have to beat probably 6 spirits before you unlock one character.
Yeah.
So it just takes so much longer.
World of Light's probably the slowest way to unlock characters.
by far. Mm-hmm. It's what was I trying to say? There's not a whole lot of story in my opinion. It's really just like for fun.
It's just fun.
So, yeah, it's just for fun. Like I've just been having a good time playing it. Really.
Yeah, and that's what I've heard from a lot of people is that story-wise, it's really lackluster, which makes sense. Sakurai said from the beginning, or when World of Light was announced, he said, "Don't expect too much story. It's more about the fights and whatnot," and that came to be true. I think a lot of people didn't believe him, but it really, there's one epic cutscene at the beginning, and then for the most part, the rest of the game is just you fighting these spirits on this awesome looking world map. The world map's really cool.
It is.
It's
and
really
there's
pretty.
parts of like different game, like
different
Pac-Man
games.
has his whole board just on the map. So that's really cool. And
then they have like a city area that has like Nintendo consoles. Did you notice that as buildings?
Mario Odyssey's in there.
Yeah,
So.
there's a lot of cool areas. The world map is awesome, but other than that, like you said, there's not a whole lot of story. It's mostly just you go through these spirit battles until you get to a character.
Trying to like take down the top people.
Yeah, basically the story is all the characters died by this
That's in the
bad guy
trailer.
named Galeem. It's in the opening trailer, in the opening cutscene, by this bad guy named Galeem, and you go through and you have to rescue their spirits.
Yep.
And then that's it. And so you get the characters as you go, and you're just trying to take down these shields and stuff in order to get to Galeem, and that's the story.
Yep.
And like you said, I'm with you. I'm much farther behind than you are in it right now, but I'm enjoying what I'm playing. I think it's fun. I think it's just a fun way to play Smash, just as a single player game.
It's a really fun way to Smash.
Exactly. Sure. It's really fun to Smash that way. But Smash is known as like a multiplayer game, right? And so I think it's nice to have this single player option because it gives people who might not at the time have people around them to play with.
I think that's a big reason why I never got sucked in.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because I was an only child for most of the time, and then when I did get a sister, she didn't play video games because she was 1. So like you always had your brother to play Smash with, or your dad even would play Smash with.
Yeah,
you.
and I was 2 brothers too.
Yeah, and like I was just me. The only time I would ever play Smash is with you guys.
When you came
so like
over.
if I ever got Smash, it was like I'm not getting this. I got it for I have it for the Wii U, but like I never play it.
Yeah, because it's mostly multiplayer centric.
Exactly.
So that's what's great about World of Light, in my opinion, is it's perfect for someone like you because now there's actually
there's
a
60
mode.
hours of content.
Yeah, there's a mode for you to be able to play it on your own, and it's even fun for someone like me because when my brothers are busy or something like that, or my friends are busy or whatever, I can just play that, and it's just as fun for me to go through and play that, you know. I don't, like you were saying, definitely if you're wanting this amazing story, it's not that.
It's not for you.
It's not for
like,
you.
It's not for story.
It's not God of War. It's not freaking Spider-Man in terms of story or anything like that. It's just battles. It's just fun battles.
And the way they do them is really cool. Like the amount of things you can change is crazy.
There's so many variables.
Oh yeah,
that's
because
sure.
like sometimes you'll end up like I'm on one that I'm just stuck on and I can't beat because you have to beat. I think it's like 12 mini fighters, and they just do so much damage because you have like 4 coming at a time. So they do so much damage by the end, like you're almost dead. Yeah. So it's really tough to do it. I mean, you end up unlocking. That's another cool thing with adventure mode. The spirits that you unlock will help you in the future. Like because like I unlocked one that like every KO I get, I gain life.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's way.
So like
cool.
those big ones where you're facing 12 people, you get these spirits. Well, every time you knock someone down, you're down to 0 health. So I finally beat it today.
Oh, that's
nice. Yeah, it's just something really cool. You have to come back and play through the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's actually one thing. I haven't played too long, but that's one thing I've discovered as I play is I'm surprised at the times I actually utilize the spirits. Like, this one, like there's one I have, my favorite one is I start the match with a flower, so it'll constantly raise their damage if I hit them with it. And that I stick with that one a lot because
have you seen the one with the drill? The drill. So sometimes you just shoot the drill, and it will just shoot across the map, and it'll just keep going until it's off the map.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it'll get the character stuck, and they'll just go boom, win,
and just destroy them.
You win. You're done. Like it's great. Like if I'm really struggling and I'm only facing one person, sometimes I'll just throw that one on and just keep launching it until I
just get the easy victory. Yeah, and that's what's actually really cool about it is just all the different ways they do the matches. Because I think there's some that like wins are heavy, and you have to go based on like which character you think would work best in the wind, or maybe the floor is lava. Have you seen like the floor is fire?
Well, most of the spirits will negate those.
Yeah,
like you just negate all the challenges, which sometimes isn't fun.
Yeah, that's one thing is like sometimes the spirits can be almost too powerful to where it's like I don't even have to worry about the challenge on this one. I can just fight this guy. Yeah. But yeah, like we were saying, story-wise, it's nothing special. Overall, I wouldn't say it's anything like amazing, but
the
it's
coolest
cool.
one I've seen yet. It was you get Latios and Latias, and you play as red Charizard and blue Charizard.
Oh, really?
Which Latios and Latias are both dragon types that are red and blue.
Uh-huh.
So it was really cool. You fight Charizard.
It's like you're basically fighting.
Yeah, you're basically Charizard.
And then they come out as
you're basically
the
Latios
Pokemon comes out. Anyway.
Yeah, and the Pokemon will be shooting across the skies trying to take you down.
That's cool.
So it's like the Pokemon's in the game. I mean, not really, but it's in the game.
Yeah.
That'd be a character I'd love to see, is those two.
That'd be cool.
And that is cool. It's a fun way for...
Kind of like the Ice Climbers.
Yeah, how they
have 2 of them. That'd be so cool.
Oh, that would be cool.
It'd be hard to do, though, for them, for sure.
Yeah.
And that is a fun thing about it, is it's a way for... Because everyone has a character they want in Smash Bros. That probably will never get in. Like, some of those spirits you fight, they don't stand a chance at being an actual fighter in Smash Bros. But maybe someone really wants them in Smash, and this is the closest they can get. It's like, hey, you can kind of fight them as a spirit. You know, it's like you can...
One of the 1,100 spirits.
Yeah, it's
Like
ridiculous.
the one you fought the other day where it's like girl from Mio.
Yeah, literally one of them I fought was like girl from this game. It was like girl from blah blah blah. And I was like, what the frick?
But there could be somebody...
One of them was called like, B or something like that. It's like Bumble or something like that. And I was like...
Oh, probably from Donkey Kong Country.
And it's just this little like fly tick thing. And it's just like... It was the easiest challenge I've ever had because it was just like... beat this tiny little fighter. I was just like,
oh yeah, it's just a tiny little guy.
It was a tiny little Mr. Game & Watch. That's what it was.
That's one thing I like too. Is depending on like the character size, like you might fight a dragon character who's huge. They'll make like you'll fight King K. Rool in his place.
Have you unlocked Bowser in adventure mode?
No, not yet.
Okay, I won't say anything then.
Okay, but yeah, that is cool that they'll make them like big depending on their spirit or whatever. Like there is a dragon I fought, and they just made Ridley really big, and it totally just works as him.
Or like the mini mimes from Subspace.
The
little colored guys, and they just made a bunch of mini colored Game & Watches.
Yeah.
So it's like they're in the game, but they're not.
Yeah.
You know?
Which I love. It works. Yeah.
And they have a whole Donkey Kong area.
Oh, yeah?
That's really cool. You go through and you just fight all Donkey Kong people.
See, that's cool. I love the theming of it, then. Mm-hmm. Like, the theming of it's really cool. And so overall, it's fun if you want a cool single-player experience for Smash Bros. If that's not what you want from Smash Bros. Single-player and stuff, that's totally understandable, and you don't have to play it. There's still plenty of other content in this game. Rest of the single-player stuff, they have Classic Mode, which we touched on a little bit. I would say Classic Mode for me might be my favorite thing in Ultimate right now. Just from the way they handled it, because each character has like their own
whole
set storyline. Yeah, it's like...
What was the one we played the other day?
Pac-Man's was really cool.
It was Pac-Man.
It was like Ageless Classics.
Yeah, and it ended with that one character. I'm not going to spoil it. But...
We'll say it because it was in one of the trailers, kind of. So slight spoilers, but not really. It's Dracula.
Oh, it was so cool. I don't know why. Cool. Like, is Dracula a character in the game?
No, but so he's a boss. He's from Castlevania.
Yeah, but you can't like fight as him, right?
No, that'd be cool though.
That's insane though. That like they just put him in there. They put an actual boss in the fight. It's instead of Mr. Hand.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I love. That's one thing I love about Classic Mode is the boss fights at the end. There's I think as of right now I've encountered like 5 or 6 different bosses. A lot of them are Master Hand and Crazy Hand, which is okay. But then there's some that I'm like, I won't spoil exactly who they are because there's some that you haven't seen, and I'm like, what the frig? This guy's a boss? Like, that's way cool. And, like, Rathalos we've seen is one of them, too. And so, like, if you're going through Duck Hunt's Classic Mode, he goes through, like, all animals. All the characters he fights in his Classic are animals.
That's cool.
And then the last one he fights is Rathalos, a dragon. And then, like, Ken's, or Ryu's is one of the ones I've heard is super cool. Because in the Street Fighter games... you're not trying to knock each other off the screen like you do in Smash. You're actually battling stamina. Like, you have 150 health, and you're trying to knock it down. So in Ryu's Classic Mode, all the fights are stamina-based. So instead of trying to knock each other off the screen, you're just trying to lower each other's health all the way down to 0.
Gotcha.
Which is super cool.
I love those, because I don't know why, but they're really fun.
They're really cool, yeah, and it totally changes the game, which I like. Adds a completely different element. But Classic Mode, I'd say, is my favorite thing I've played so far, just from the boss perspective angle, and having all the characters have their own little storylines, I think is really cool. Then there's also like Mob Smash, Century Smash.
What is Mob Smash?
It's basically like you fight just waves of enemies. Like they keep dropping like hundreds of characters, and you just keep going until you die. Like it's endless, I think.
Got it.
And then there's also Century Smash, which is 100 fighters that you have to fight.
The Cruel.
And then the Cruel Smash, which is like, it's supposed to be insane. Like, one fighter comes down, and they keep dropping more, and they're like ridiculously hard. So those are just some kind of random modes. One thing I will say about Classic Mode real fast, though, that I didn't, is I don't really like the bonus game. The bonus game's it's the same for every single character, and it's just you run and collect like these gold orbs. And it's kind of like, okay, it's fine at first, but there's 70 characters in this game. You're going to have to do that. If you want to do every single character, you're going to have to do that same bonus game.
You're going to get really good at it, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Depending on the character, though,
unless you're Donkey Kong and you can't fit through the freaking hole.
Exactly. That's the thing, is like some characters suck with it. Like, if you're a slow character,
if you're Sonic,
you're screwed.
It's easy.
Oh, Sonic,
I did Sonic.
Do it easy.
And it was like, I was like,
probably get all of them, you know, if you wanted to. Yeah, depending on your character's speed. Is there anything else in mode-wise that I'm missing? Online. I guess online, yeah.
Online, yeah, I guess. I haven't played much online, except for what we just played barely.
Yeah, so I've actually been playing quite a bit online, and I love it. A lot of people have been reporting that they're having tons of, like, issues with lag and stuff like that, which is completely understandable. For me, personally, I haven't had...
Which we had locally, for some reason.
Yeah, which we had locally when we were doing local wireless, which was weird. But online, I honestly haven't, like, come across too much lag. I've had a couple matches with slight lag, but overall, it's been super clean for me. And super, it runs super well. And I think it's fun what they have. They have quick play, which you just go in and you just do a random match. which is so fast for Nintendo. I can't believe how fast it finds a game. The downside is that it will do whatever mode it wants. It can do timed, it can do stock, it can be with items, without, which is a joke. That sucks. You can set preferred rules, but it still won't work sometimes. That's frustrating. That's just something Nintendo needs to fix. Then they also have Battle Arena, which is supposed to be more competitive from what I understand. You can also set your own rules. That's really cool, but the downside is you have to wait in line for it. Like, there's a lobby you have to wait for. It can take like 10 minutes just to get into a match like that, which sucks. That's another thing Nintendo needs to fix. Then there's Elite Smash, which is for where the competitive play is, but that you have to unlock, which is actually really cool. You have to play enough online matches to show you're capable and good enough to be in Elite Smash. And it's its own separate mode, which is really cool. I haven't gotten to that yet because I haven't played too much online. But I'm hoping to get there and then report on how I feel Elite Smash works. But from what I've heard, it sounds like it needs some work too, because there's some matches where it can still have items, which, if you know competitive playing Smash, that you never have items on for competitive. And so that's another thing they need to tweak. Last little bit of things here. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion. Who are your guys' favorite characters so far that you've dabbled with in Ultimate? Now that we've had it for a weekend.
As far as new characters, I mean, I'm still as good.
Or are we doing new characters only, or just any character?
Any character.
However you want.
Okay. We talked in our last Smash cast about our mains. All of my mains are still the same so far. Of course, I haven't dabbled as much into the new characters as I'd like. But I'm really enjoying Link. Like I said, Link is huge for me. Because... Oh, and Meta Knight. Meta Knight's really good in Ultimate.
I played as him. He was pretty fun.
Meta Knight's really fun. So, I mean, that's it. Honestly, I haven't really played as any of the new characters. I mean, we have Splatoon, Inkling. And who else?
Isabelle. Yeah, we've... that's one thing I forgot to mention is Tanner and I we've gotten to King K. Rool, Ridley, Wolf, and Simon and stuff, and we've been purposely dying because we're trying to space out the way we unlock characters a bit more, because I didn't want to unlock them all on day one. I know a lot of people that was their goal, but for me personally, I wanted to space it out a bit more so I have something to look forward to, keep looking forward to for the next couple weeks. But so new character wise, I haven't played as too many that I'm in love with, but I actually really like Inkling. I've played Inkling, and I think
really fun.
I think her moveset is really unique and different, and I love the roll move where she plants people in the ground. Yeah. That one's fun.
And it's cool, you have to like recharge your gun.
Yeah, you have to recharge the ink, which is a unique move as well. There's not too many characters with something like that, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, a lot of my mains are pretty similar. I main Link, Falco, Mario still. But one character who's a newcomer that I adore is Chrom, actually. And Chrom's an echo of Roy, but I never would have expected me playing like with Chrom the way I have, but there's something about his moveset that I love, and I'm starting to get pretty good with him, which I like. I like his combination of moves from Roy and Ike. So I've been liking him a lot. Ganondorf is a character who's been completely reworked and revamped from Wii U and Brawl.
Seems OP.
And yeah, he is OP, dude, for sure. He's slower, so you can defend against him if you had to, but if you get hit by his attacks,
they're powerful.
It's like, literally, you go from 0% damage to 30. It's like a 30% damage hit, which is nuts. That's one hit from him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets patched a little, because it's pretty crazy.
The 1.2 patch is coming next week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I just seen it on the Switch.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a few tweaks here and there, which can be good, but also frustrating for people who have started to main characters already. But I love Ganondorf. I'm actually probably going to main him. Not main him, but he's going to be one of my mains for Ultimate. Dark Samus, I think, is awesome. I love her slight differences from Samus. I love that she floats and like hovers her way across the screen. It's so cool. With the phase on and whatnot. It's so rad. Any other characters you guys think?
So I have been...
Oh, yeah.
So like I said, this is my first one. So, my first match I ever played was with Donkey Kong. And he has an insane, like, attack that you just kind of repeat over and over. And, like, the CPU doesn't do anything to fight against it, seemingly. He just kind of spins and he just like knocks him off the map.
Yeah.
He's my main right now. But I'm really liking Fox and Falco. Well, Fox, but I'm pretty sure Falco has the same moves,
similar,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so like, and Falco was my favorite in
Melee?
GameCube.
Yeah, Melee.
Melee. He was my favorite by far. Bowser's really fun, which Tanner, I think you like Bowser's too.
Yeah.
Bowser. Who else? There's more. I can't think of them right now. I like
Sonic. You're pretty good at
Sonic. I love Sonic just because he's so fast. I kill myself all the time, but he's really fun. I really like playing as Incineroar.
Oh, Incineroar. Yeah, I totally
is
forgot about
really
Incineroar.
fun. And then I know I'm gonna like Ridley. Like I'm pretty confident I'm gonna love Ridley.
Yeah.
I haven't even unlocked him
Heavyweight
yet.
character.
I haven't even had a chance to yet, but
I
think I'm gonna really like Ridley too.
think I will too. His moveset seems fun, and I
want to play as Bayonetta too. I haven't played it as her yet.
Bayonetta has a super unique moveset. She's really OP in certain ways, especially in the air. Like her attacks in the air are amazing. Stage wise, what do you guys think? There's 103 stages. What ones have you guys kind of gravitated toward? Like, which ones are your favorites?
I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you, quite honestly. Like, I did training on Tortimer Island. I enjoyed that one a lot,
Island,
but just because you can't fall.
Mm.
Like, you're not going to die from fall damage. You have to be killed.
Hit off the screen.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I really enjoyed that. Because I suck. So, like, I just fall off the map. There's this one, and it's just, like, clouds. And, like, if you hold down, you just go straight through the clouds.
Oh, is it like the pink clouds
and
stuff like that? Yeah, that's from Earthbound.
And I got so frustrated because I had to play, in Adventure Mode, I had to play it was on that map.
Oh, dude.
And I was fighting, like, 4 characters. And I was playing as Samus, and every time I would just drop straight through the map, and I'm like, dang it. Because I hold down to go through the stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And then attack up, but I just fall through the bottom, and I'm like, dang it.
Dude,
it took me an hour to do it.
Speaking of which, yeah, there's a spirit battle on that stage that I'm still stuck on. I can't remember. I think you play Ness and, like, Villager or something like that, and it freaking sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think I've beaten
It's like a little girl with pink hair, I think, is the spirit, and I suck at that one. For me, I love most of the new stages, the ones new to Ultimate. I love Great Plateau Tower. My one complaint about it is that the bars from the ceiling can kind of get in the way sometimes.
I feel like you kind of, if the building's actually built, you're kind of trapped.
Yeah, it is
too small.
It is a little too small. I agree with you there. I just like the way it looks.
Once the building goes down, I think it's great.
Oh, me too. When the building goes down, it opens it up so much more. So that one I like mostly from a look perspective. New Donk City I think is cool, but I do think they could have chose something a little better for Mario Odyssey. But it's fine. I like that you can have them play Jump Up Superstar. And then Dracula's Castle, the look of it is probably my favorite looking stage from Ultimate. I loved like the darkness of it. My one slight critique of it is they do like this darkness that surrounds the screen, almost like it's a vignette kind of thing. Like, I don't know, it's like black around the sides, and it makes it kind of hard to see at times when you're on the outside of the screen. I love the look of it, and I love the boss characters that come out, but that's one little complaint I have about it, is I wish there wasn't so much shrouds of darkness on the sides. Otherwise, I love it. And then Moray Towers is actually really fun too from Splatoon. It's really weird though.
It is weird because you fall through the floors.
Yeah, you can just like, and it's like stairs.
You can almost
back
all the way
and
through
forth.
the whole floors. Just get to the bottom of the stage.
Yeah, that one can be kind of frustrating, especially like
a lot of the attacks don't work either. Like if you have a gun, a lot of your attacks just don't work.
That stage sucks for like projectile based characters for sure. Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm so happy to see a lot of the Melee stages back. Those were some of my favorite ones. Seeing them in HD, like Fountain of Dreams, Peach's Castle. Those are some of my favorites. Brinstar Depths is so cool to see Kraid in the background, huge the way he is. All in HD. It's freaking amazing. I love it. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
I don't. Do we want to kind of give a rating on our thoughts so far?
Yeah,
like
let's
1
do
to
it.
10?
Yeah, totally.
Do you want to go first?
I mean, from what I've played quite a bit. I'd honestly say like 9.
Yeah.
9 out of 10. And the only reason it wouldn't be a 10 out of 10 is just because I haven't played like World of Light and I haven't played Classic Mode enough. And yeah, it's an amazing game. It's one of the best, probably the best of the year so far. So
yeah, I'm gonna go probably like an 8.5 out of 10.
If you get out of the house.
You're fine.
No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, it's a fighting game that's. I mean, I know I'm not going to be playing it in another month.
Yeah.
So, but for right now, it's like my life. That's like all I've been doing. So I think it deserves an 8.5.
Yeah.
Now, if I was as like into it as you were, I think it would be a 10 out of 10 because I don't think there's many flaws to the game.
Yeah.
But personally, 8.5 out of 10 for me is about right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. For me, it's hard because I'm biased because it's such a special series to me. And, like, Smash Brothers is my favorite series there is. So I'm a little biased and, like, for me personally, like, just from a pure enjoyment perspective and mechanics perspective, it's a 10 out of 10 in that regard. However, like, most of the reviews I've seen have been from, like, a 9 to a 10, like 9.5 or whatever. And I completely agree with those. I think that's a sweet spot because, like, there are things I would have different. Like, I wish World of Light had more cutscenes. I wish it was a bit more story focused.
Split screen.
Yeah, I wished it was co-op, like 2-player. So there's a couple nitpicky things I have like that, but overall, like, the nitpicky things are so small and don't mean that much that for all intents and purposes, this game is the ultimate Smash Brothers. It's like the game of my dreams, putting all of this Smash content into one game. So for me personally, it's like 10 out of 10. But from like a critique standpoint, I would say like 9.5. I think 9.5 is fair. And that's still like amazing. You know, that's still freaking insane. But I'm enjoying the heck out of it. And you guys can definitely expect probably another episode or 2 follow-ups to this one in the coming weeks when we have more time to play with it. When we get through World of Light and stuff like that, we want to talk to you about our full thoughts. This is mostly just our one weekend playthrough thoughts. And then also, like I said, we'll talk about DLC when that's announced and comes up. But yeah, you guys can follow us on social media at Super Bros Videos on Twitter, at Super Basement Bros on Instagram. You can watch all of our content on YouTube. We have the Super Basement Bros Show, which is our flagship show we do. And we usually upload that every other Sunday. We're probably going to have a lot more content for you guys this month in December because we're going to be seeing each other a lot more with the holidays. So you can expect that. We're also going to be doing a COD Talk soon, which is our Call of Duty podcast. Yeah, you can just, follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can see all that content. Please like and comment. We want to hear what you guys think of our shows and like feedback you have. We're going to take it all into account, and we want to do the show with you guys. And if you have questions, send it our way. If you have topic ideas, send it our way. We'll read them on the show. We'll discuss them. We really want to do that. And also you can reach us on Twitter and Instagram with those questions and comments and concerns as well. But yeah, we thank you guys for joining us. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
Nope.
All right, perfect. Well, until next time, have a smashing good time.
Oh my god.
We're gonna go smash.
Yeah,
We're gonna go smash.
now go smash, everyone. All right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.